Today's video is going to be a pretty serious one, but I do want to mention that I am not suicidal whatsoever. I have no intention of inflicting any type of harm to myself now or in the far future. I do not have any suicidal thoughts whatsoever, and I would greatly appreciate it if nobody killed me for what I'm about to say. Alright, let's get into the video. If a drug killed more people than alcohol, tobacco, and all the illegal substances combined, you would expect it to carry some sort of warning label, wouldn't you? Well, it doesn't. This drug is not sold on the streets, it's sold in our supermarkets, every restaurant, and nearly every kitchen in the world. I'm talking about sugar, the most accepted and dangerous drug on the planet. Now, before you go ahead and roll your eyes and say sugar isn't that bad, please let me explain what it does to your mind and your body. Before I get into this, I would like to say that I am not a biologist and I do not have any sort of formal education on this topic. That being said, anyone can do their own due diligence and learn the facts that I'm about to tell you. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, the same substance that is released when you consume alcohol or take a hit of cocaine. It makes you feel good for a moment, but that feeling does not last and it leaves you wanting more and more. The problem with sugar, like many other drugs, is it's not a healthy source of this dopamine hit. It's not your lack of discipline that keeps you addicted to sugar, that's just how addiction works. Since we are fed this drug extremely early on in our childhood, our brain very quickly associates sugar with reward. So every time you're stressed out or bored, your brain whispers just one cookie turns into 10. That's why it's extremely easy to consume an entire sleeve of Oreos and much less dopamine rewarding to consume real food. So now that we know exactly why everybody likes sugar, let's talk about what it's actually doing to your body. When you eat something sweet, your blood sugar spikes and your body sends out insulin. Think of insulin as a cleanup crew that pushes the sugar into your cells for energy. This is a normal process of the body, and I'm not saying that this in and of itself is detrimental. But when this happens all the time, by adding in sugar to your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all the snacks in between, and don't forget to hydrate with something sugary as well, you end up building insulin resistance. This is a precursor to diabetes. Think of it like a group chat that keeps getting spammed by that annoying friend. Everybody stops replying and eventually people start to mute the chat. When that happens, your blood sugar stays high. Your liver steps in and begins to turn this sugar into fat during a process called de novo lipogenesis. This literally means making new fat. This fat gets bundled into tiny little packages called triglycerides that float through your bloodstream for energy. This process is fine in moderation. However, when mostly what you're consuming is sugar and carbohydrates, this process overloads and you begin to cause a traffic jam. I want to make this as simple as possible so that everyone can understand. Imagine that your bloodstream is like a highway. Triglycerides are like Ubers carrying the fat and the energy. HDL are like the garbage truck that pick up the leftovers and bring them back to your liver for recycling. When you eat too much sugar, your liver starts producing too many of these triglyceride Ubers, and it creates this traffic jam. As those Ubers drop off their passengers, they begin to shrink into smaller, denser LDL particles. These small, dense LDL particles are the ones that can get stuck inside of your artery walls. This process causes inflammation and plaque buildup, which is the precursor to heart disease, the #1 killer in the world. So it's not necessarily the fat from steak that's causing these issues. Our bodies are meant to run off of fat similarly to almost every other animal on the planet. It simply appears as if fat is causing the heart disease because of the process that I just described to you. So it's not the butter and it's not the beef, but the overload of sugar that's actually creating all of these problems. Now, here's the scary part. Heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, fatty liver are all connected to this one metabolic dysfunction. The #1 driver of that dysfunction is chronically high blood sugar. Worldwide, more people die due to poor diet than any other drug on the planet combined. It's not the fat, it's the sugar that's wrecking our lives, and it's been so normalized that no one even questions it. We are not dying because we don't have the proper medicine. We're dying because our food has become the poison. So what can you do as an individual in order to protect yourself from the most likely cause of death in the world. First, cut out liquid sugar and fructose as a whole. These energy drinks, sodas, and all types of other fluids that contain high amounts of sugar in them spike your insulin hard and fast. The next way to step up your game is to simply eat real food. If it didn't walk, swim, fly, or grow in the ground 200 years ago, I highly suggest you stray away from it. The next best thing you could do is allow your body to switch to fat as its main fuel source. We are biologically supposed to be running off of this, and it's why people on carnivore and low carb diets report feeling so great. I can attest to this myself. As a carnivore for the past 4 years, I feel better than I ever have, look better than I ever have, and have absolutely no health problems. Sugar doesn't just make you gain weight. It hijacks your brain, it clogs your arteries, and contributes to every major disease that we face today. So yeah, sugar might not send you to rehab, but it is sending millions of people to an early grave. And that is what makes it the most deadly drug in the world. Don't forget to share this video with someone you think it would help. We cannot fix what we don't understand, and knowing what's going on in the food on our plate is the first step to being as healthy and vibrant as we can be. Thank you for watching. If this hit you hard, please leave a comment. Let me know what I'm doing right. Let me know what I'm doing wrong. I would really appreciate any type of feedback. If you guys do appreciate this content and want to help the channel grow, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to like the video. It really helps me out. If you guys do want to see more of this stuff, I come out with a video every day of October, and I really hope that they're going to help you guys out, giving you all of my best stuff for free.